Okay friends, one of the first things we need to do to get started is to remove our negative battery terminal. Set that away from the battery so it makes no contact with the battery itself. Safely raise and support the truck so the front wheels are off the ground. After we've done that, let's remove all of our lug nuts and then the wheel. Now that the wheel's out of the way, you might happen to notice that you have a piece of plastic that comes across. Ours is actually broken, so it's not in the way, but you'll just have to get under there. After that, you'll have a nice clear view of the starter. The next thing I'm going to do is just spray down the area with some penetrant. Let that soak and do its job. So now that we let this soak for a little while, let's continue on by removing the nuts that are holding the wires to the starter itself. There's going to be two. There's going to be a small one and a larger one. Let's remove the small one first. That nut off of there. Now we'll remove our wire. Now that we got the small wire off, let's move along to removing this wire right here. You're going to notice that there's a third wire on this, which is located back here, but we're not actually going to do anything with that. All right, we got that nut off of there. Go ahead and grab onto the wire, wiggle it around, and remove it. There we are. So now right underneath the truck, you're going to be able to find your starter. There's going to be a mounting bolt here, and then one located right there. We'll remove the pair and then remove the starter through right here. There's the other. There's our starter, friends. Now it's going to be time to put in our brand new starter. Something to pay attention to is the mounting nuts with their washers. Go ahead and remove those and then we'll get this into the truck. So here we go. Let's get ready to put in our starter. Just pay quick attention to the bolts. Make sure that they're still in good condition. If it looks as though they're rotted or damaged in any way, go ahead and replace them. Let's go ahead and put the starter right up and in here. Line it up with its corresponding area on the engine and then start in both of your bolts. Now that we have both of them started, something that we want to pay attention to is whether or not you have a shim in there. If you had a shim, you need to make sure that you install it. Next, we're going to continue on to snugging these up. Now let's torque these to 37 foot-pounds. Now the next thing we want to do is clean up the mating surfaces on each one of our wiring. So essentially the area that's going to hit up against the starter. Go ahead and sand that down. Okay, so now I have them both cleaned off. The next thing I want to do is start with the small wire. I'm going to go ahead and put that on that back side there. We're going to put it on, snug it up, and torque it to 17 inch-pounds. Not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. Put it right on the stud. And then of course our locking washer, and then our nut. All right, now that I've got it started, let's go ahead and snug it up using a small 1/4 inch ratchet. You want to make sure that you do not over torque this. Okay, that feels like it bottomed out. Just going to go a teeny bit more. Perfect. Give that wire a little wiggle just to make sure it's secured. Now let's do the larger wire. Okay, so now that we have our wire on there, let's continue on by snugging up this nut, and then we'll torque it to 80 inch-pounds. Inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. All right, so that's bottomed out. Let's go a teeny bit more with that ratchet. Let's get our wheel back up on here. Start all of our lug nuts, snug them up, get the wheel on the ground, and then torque it to 100 foot-pounds. Torqued. And of course, if you have the wheel lug covers, go ahead and put those on as well. Okay, now it's time to reconnect our negative battery terminal. Let's go ahead and start that on there, and then we'll snug it up. There we are. Double check to make sure it's secured. Perfect.